Oh, yeah. Welcome, everybody. It's Thursday night once again.
Hey, y'all.
Got Crazy Carla in the building. How you doing?
We made it.
Yes, indeed, we did.
It's pre-Friday. I mean, it's always pre-Friday when we have a...
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, this week has week, didn't it? I mean, when you have a holiday and you lose a day, it seems like all the other days make up for you losing that day.
So again, we had, so it goes Sunday, holiday, then Monday, Thursday. Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And then I was out Friday, because remember last time we did our show, I was drinking the good drink for my first colonoscopy.
Oh, that's right.
Child, that was something. But
you had the best sleep. You had the best sleep ever, didn't you?
Child, when I tell you I slept so good, baby, that lady, she said, look at me, because I'm about to panic. She said, this is going to sting a little bit. I said, now look at here. And when I opened my eyes again, she was like, I was like, what?
Yeah, boy, that's sleepy for real.
It was a trip, honey. But yeah, I'm in the fitness now. I got to make sure my guts and everything is right. Ladies, I always say, get your titties checked, men. Get your everything checked. Get your prostate checked.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it now for the men, so you ain't got to. Quit all that fear of homo stuff because you're getting a colonoscopy. Go get it done if you want to stick around.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. They're gonna knock you out, so you ain't gonna notice nothing.
Yeah, you're gonna be asleep, trust me. You're gonna be all right.
And you're gonna sleep good too, so
yeah, real good.
Go get it done.
Well, let's get into it.
Let's pay these bills so we can get this going. And you already know the main sponsor of the show.
The Sweetest Slime with Micaiah and Mitchell. Y'all already know. You see it, right? You see how she just keeps everything so neat and lustrous. See? Mm-hmm. I put it up today. I caught myself doing my hair. My Pinky told me, she said, "Sugar, that look crazy." So I had to put this. I said, who asked you? But anyway, Micaiah Mitchell, that's who does my hair. She does the hair of a lot of my friends. She does natural hair. She doesn't just do locks. She does natural hair. She does hair. If you want a perm, she do that. You want to blow out, she do that. If you want to cut, she do that. If you want your makeup done, she do that. She's a stylist.
Bam.
She do that. She do everything, and she's amazing. So if you want to get your hair touched and your hair be healthy, she makes her own hair products also. So you got to get into that, y'all. She really, she is the truth. So you can reach her at 336-734-3307. You can find her on IG under The Sweetest Slime. You can find her on Facebook under Micaiah Mitchell. She's also on TikTok under The Sweetest Slime, and she's also on Snapchat. Go check her out. And when you do, remember, tell her Carla sent you. Okay, thank you. All
yes,
right.
Indeed. So before we get to our guests, I am just ecstatic on the news that's going to happen. Next week, your boy is starting his own podcast called Implosion.
Yes.
And understand it's not implosion, like the submarine that imploded. No, Implosion, where we're going to talk about the power within. And I have the wonderful Tammany Dove. She is the founder of the ISSA Awards. And I'll be speaking with her Thursday night next week at 6, right before Miss Carla's show. And there I am, all dressed up like a deacon and whatnot. But
that's all right. But you was sharp though. You was casket sharp, baby, just in case.
Hey, I'm telling you, that suit opened up some doors for your boy. So, I ain't mad at all. I ain't mad at all.
Sometimes I dress like a hun, and sometimes I dress like a hoe. It just depends.
There you go. What up, Lena?
Lena?
What's going on, stranger? She in the cut.
God. Listen, all right. I'm telling you.
So tell us about your guests.
Okay, so Okay. I want y'all to prepare yourself because listen, I'm in fangirl mode. So last week I had Simply Knit. I was in fangirl mode because y'all know I love Simply Knit. So this week, one of my favorite authors in the whole entire universe. I said universe, not the world.
Universe.
The universe. That's much more vast. This woman wrote a book called One Day I Saw a Black King. And I remember the first time I read that book, I said, baby, I just threw the damn thing across the room. I said, get out of here. This is it. Because it was so real. And it's just that's how, not that stuff you see on Hallmark, the real relationship stuff, the ugly stuff, the pretty stuff, all of it, like with Miss Terry McMillan, J.D. Mason, she's one of the greats. Eric Jerome Dickey, that's my people. So you listen, J.D. Mason, my book club, we used to love reading her books. She's been writing books, and when I bring her on here, look, y'all better give it up for the one, the only. Ain't nobody else like her, nobody else nowhere, because she could write a book, baby. You be turning off everything just to get to the end of her book. You be reading on your lunches. You be reading on the way. You just be going crazy. I done read books on airplanes. Listen, J.D. Mason.
Yes, indeed.
Damn, that should go. Hey. Y'all. Okay, let me drink my drink. Okay.
You drink your drink. You ladies have a good time. I'll be in the back.
Welcome.
Honey, how are you?
I am good, honey. I'm great now. I am great. I got your smiling face on here, and I just love it. People don't know. Well, people do know. I just told them you're one of my favorite authors in the whole universe.
Oh my God.
I just love your books.
Thank you.
I love your commentary. I love your sense of humor.
Thank you.
I think I've been following you on Facebook for a long time. But we met through Facebook. And because I was like fangirling, I was like, I'm gonna follow J.D. Mason. She's on Facebook. That's what I did.
I'm fangirling over you too. So,
I don't even know how to act right now. But I'm just so excited. I'm so glad to have you on here. And I want people to see, because a lot of times we read people, but I mean, like, these are real human beings. Hi, Lena, listen. Wordsmith on Dip. What's up, Sister Scott? That's her. Yes. She's amazing. So Lena's a graphic arts. She's an artist. She does everything. So you should see her stuff too. She's very dope. So we're gonna talk about. Okay, so I wrote my list of questions, but before we do that, I'm gonna start from the beginning. So for people that don't know, this is J.D. Mason, the author. And J.D., tell the people where you're from and where you're at.
I am, I was originally born in Texas, but I was raised in Denver, Colorado.
Okay.
Grew up there and started writing back in 1999 or 2000. And didn't know what I was doing. Took me a long time to figure it out, but I finally figured it out 6 years later how to write a book. I've been in the business since 2002 and have about 30 some odd books published. And I took a bit of a hiatus in 2021, and now I'm trying to find my way back. So working on some new stuff, working on some screenplays, working on new stories, books. And right now I live in New Orleans. So that's me.
The NOLA.
NOLA.
I've had some interesting things happen to me in the NOLA. I told you one of them. That was just the tip of the iceberg.
It's an interesting place. It will bring that out in you. Your life.
Honey, I love the NOLA. I met a pimp named Slipback down there one time, girl. Literally, it was like a dude.
The best thing about this place is the people.
Yeah, because that was the first place I ever saw a mailman. Girl, we was coming out of my friend's apartment, and the mailman had dreadlocks down to his knees. He had grills. I said, okay, Mr. Mailman. He had on tattoos. I said, this house gonna be like this.
Girl, yes.
And when we went, it was when they won the Super Bowl.
Oh.
And it was Mardi Gras at the same time.
Yes.
So the day we got down there was the day they won the Super Bowl, and we went to a bar, and it was just, people were so excited. Like, one man started taking off his clothes, and one lady was in the bar. They was kissing like it was New Year's, girl. It was just a whole thing, girl. I was like, what is happening? But it was the best. And then I met Kevin Garnett, who was very stuck up, but I liked the rest of his team. I met the Celtics because they played when what's my boy from Winston-Salem? Oh my God. Why can I think of his name? He's from right here and I know him. He used to play for New Orleans, but he now he plays for the Lakers. CJ Paul.
Okay.
So we met the Celtics because they was getting off the bus. So that was a very interesting trip.
Yeah.
And so now you're there.
Yes.
And I know it's stirring up all your creative juices because, like you said, the people there are different. You never seen prostitutes hang out with police officers until you go to New Orleans. Baby, they be out there. The strippers and the I say the hoes, because I'll be like the prostitutes. They be like, girl, you can call us a hoe. Okay, and the hoes, they be out there and they be just having a good time. They be with the police.
Girl, you gotta see the man. You gotta see the man walking down Bourbon Street. He's got a red cowboy hat and wears a red skirt and fishnet stockings. He's got a big old gray beard and long gray hair. And then there was a boy riding a little scooter. He had a yellow snake, a yellow python or something around his neck. Live.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, so they're live. So yeah, this place is crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. But then the music and the food is what make it even better. Oh, girl, I ate gumbo every day I was there, and I drank Hurricanes. I was up drinking like 9 a.m, judge your mama. I don't care. So, yeah.
You know, they tell me that you come here and go to the drive-thru and buy yourself a daiquiri at the drive-thru.
Yeah, I mean, like, you could go in Walgreens and get liquor. I was like, what is happening?
Yes.
It was wild.
Yeah.
I had never in my life. So, the NOLA. So, I always ask everybody, what's your zodiac sign, JD?
Virgo.
That's right.
Yeah, I got a birthday coming.
When's your birthday? Next week.
20th. I will be.
My aunt's birthday.
That is it?
Mm-hmm.
Girl, I'm gonna be 60. 60. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it, but I'm so excited.
JD, what?
Yes. I'm so excited. I don't know why I'm so excited to turn 60 years old, but I'm just
but
like.
You should be, because baby, you still alive and you looking like you 45.
Thank you. Without this gray hair, but that was meant to be.
You still look like a little baby in the face.
Thank you. But I'm getting ready to turn 60, girl, and I am so excited. So 50s, I thought 50s were good. And 50s were good. I thought 40s was good, but 60, there's something special about 60.
Yes, girl.
There's something. I know you ain't there yet, but there's something about 60 I didn't even expect to feel this way.
Well, I just turned 50, and I'm loving it.
Yes, this is a great time for women. I mean, this age is awesome.
Oh, she look good.
Thank you so much. This is when women, we're not our grandmothers. 50.
No, ma'am. We doing a lot of stuff we probably ain't got no damn business doing, but I love it. Thank you, God. Yeah.
The new hormones, my whole life done opened up.
I said, Lord, don't let nothing make it listen, because I won't be like my grandma never having no menopause babies and no stuff like that. I said, let me go sit my tail down somewhere. You hear me? Because, that's how the women used to get caught up in the day. My grandma did.
Yeah.
Nah, baby, not me. Pick is enough.
Yeah.
So you live in the NOLA.
Yep.
I just can't believe you're going to be 60. What?
Yeah, big 6-0. Big 6-0.
How old is your daughter?
She's 29. And my
Oh,
son is 30. I don't know, what's 7 years older than her. So yeah.
so are they still in Colorado, or are they down there with you?
They're in Colorado. Yeah.
I mean, what? So, I mean, and that was another thing that drew me to your books. You have a different Black perspective.
I do. And I'm glad you realize that.
Yeah, and I was very intrigued by it because I don't know any Black people from Colorado. I mean, until I started reading your books.
Yeah.
And then I found out that there's a whole bunch of Black people in Colorado.
Yeah, they all spread out like this. It's not like when I was growing up and everybody was in the same neighborhood, but they there.
I found that out.
Uh-huh.
And then I was like, oh, okay. Just like I didn't realize there was a whole bunch of Black people in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, but the way you tell a story is, to me, one of the best things ever. And then when you did the Mrs. Price series, first of all, ma'am, that right there. What's the Rich and Dangerous? What was the Rich series? What was the one you did with the
Beautiful
Dirty?
Beautiful
Yeah.
Dirty. Yeah.
Baby, that need, I could just see that.
Yes.
Forget all the Queen's Men and all that stuff. They need to get that on TV because, baby, that was a whole soap opera.
I'm trying to get that on TV. I'm working on it. It was. I mean, it was just something you just don't see, right?
But it was so good because you'll think something gonna happen and boom, something else, and then boom, you be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I loved it. But one day I saw Black King was the equivalent to me reading Disappearing Acts by Terry McMillan. Because, you know, I was living with this guy, but he was living with me. Correction, let's clear that up. And I read the last page of Terry McMillan's Waiting to Exhale, and I packed all his stuff up and put it on the front porch and had the lock changed, huh?
You were done.
Hmm?
You were done.
And that's what authors do. People don't realize if you can read something, it can literally change your mind, right? Mm-hmm. So one day I saw Black King, and I realized, this being married ain't working.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that sounds weird, but I do want to tell you that really that's what happened. I read one day, I saw Black King, and I said, no, I don't like, this is not how I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I made a decision after I read your book.
Why? What about the book made you make that decision?
Because she literally, even though she made her mistakes, you know, even though everything wasn't perfect, and even though that dude wasn't perfect, definitely, she lived to her truest self.
Yeah.
You know, even in the end, even when it got to the end, when it wasn't just like, you know, the fairy tale ending necessarily,
yes,
it was real.
Yes.
And I said, I would just rather have reality.
Yeah.
Than you know, what other people have conjured up for me. I'm
glad you pointed out that he wasn't perfect, because everybody that loves that book loves John King, and I'm like, that dude was flawed. He had a lot of issues.
But so was the guy Disappearing Acts. But listen, we're all screwed up, and she was a piece of work too.
She was. Yes, she was.
And that's what I'm saying. Like real people with real love stories, like my grandparents who were married for 50 years. And child, I could tell you some stories. Baby, it was no walk in the park.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when you're dealing with people, we have stuff going on.
That's what makes us interesting though, right?
I love it. And I love the fact that you capture it though. Mm-hmm. Because up until, there were very few people who was writing like the real like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you just jump right in it, you know, with your books. One day I saw back, like, what was the other one, girl, that I just love? How's my brain going blank? something down in me, this fire down in this fire.
Yeah, the fire down in my soul.
That one.
Mm-hmm.
Baby.
Mm-hmm.
And on the 8th day, and was it on the 8th day she rested?
Yep.
Was it? Baby.
Yeah.
If anybody, anywhere, has ever gone through domestic violence, or know somebody who has, baby, you better read that book.
That book had a lot of impact on a lot of people. I mean, I had people write me telling me that they left abusive relationships because of that book. And that just touched me because I'm like, I've never been in an abusive relationship. My poor ex-husband, everybody was calling him and talking about, did she leave you because you used to beat her up? He's like, he would get me on the phone and say, please tell him I never hit you.
Right.
I'm like, no, he never hit me.
But it made you think about the woman who did.
Yeah.
And it made you think about her different. Because I'm going to tell you, I grew up seeing, I saw my uncle beat my aunt. Saw it firsthand, often. Mm-hmm. And I would see people, and I made a decision very early in life. You will not hit me. You will not do anything to me. Now, I took mental abuse, but I wouldn't let nobody put their hands on me. Yes. But one is as bad as the other once you get older and start realizing stuff, right? Yeah. Peace, sis. Now, that's one of our poets. She's awesome. That's my sis. That's Shine. I'm going to tell you that on the 8th day she rested, girl. By the time you get to the end of that book, you be like, wait a minute, now hold it. And that's what makes you you are a master storyteller. I mean, you hook people in, and then when you think it's going to be one thing, it just be something totally different. You be like, what? And I love it. And I just want to thank you.
Well, thank you. I mean, you don't understand where I'm at in my career right now, what your words mean to me, right? Because I left the business. I meant to stay gone in 2021. I meant to stay gone. I didn't mean to come back and write any more books, right? I was emotionally tapped out because this is a tough business. You know how the entertainment business, how creative businesses are, they're tough. And it took its toll because at one point, I was writing 5 books a year or something like that, something crazy. And it took its toll. And I was like, falling out of love with the craft. And it was only been in this last year that I decided, you know what? I didn't love the business, but I do love the process of creating. We are, as creators, if we're not creating, something's wrong.
And it makes you feel dead inside.
It makes you feel dead inside. For the last 2 years, I'm like, why do I feel this way? I'm not a depressed person, but I felt dead inside. And it's like the voice came and said, you're creative and you're not creating. Like, so fuck the business of writing.
Right.
The process of creating and your stories and building your worlds and doing what your spirit is meant to do. It's meant to create. So hearing you say this stuff, because I'm having to, I'm starting like this, like a muscle. You stop going to the gym and it's hard to get back into it. I got a lot of insecurity right now. I used to could write a book and just throw it out there. I'm struggling with my insecurities right now, but to hear you talk about these books and to have this conversation with you, it just kind of just makes me feel so like, okay, I got this, I can do this because this is what I do. And just hear that it affects people the way you're saying it affects you, that just warms me and just motivates me and just makes me feel like, okay, I have a responsibility because I have a ton of stories to tell and I have a responsibility to tell them and to share them. So that's my goal now.
Okay, so her question, the artist known as Lena J, to you is, do you gravitate towards identifying as a Black female author like some of our other queens, Alice Walker, Toni Morrison, Bell Hooks, Gloria Naylor, or do you prefer to be known simply as an author, period? Yeah,
I don't put myself in the category with those people at all. I mean, those are goddesses, and I'm just like, I'm just me. I know I have my own voice. I have my own unique voice. But the Alice Walkers and the Bell Hooks, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
And you're right up there with them.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Thank you so much. Because it's like, I idolize them, and so, yeah. But I think the thing I do put myself in the same vein with them in that I am very passionate about what I do. I don't write just for the sake of putting words on paper and selling a bunch of books and just, I want you to feel. And I want you may not agree.
Right.
I want you to walk away feeling some kind of way. And when I'm writing, if I don't feel it, you don't feel it. So it's very important for me to create an experience for my readers that they just can't just toss a book aside and forget about it because they read it and they got 300 more to read. I want you to feel it. I want you to experience. I want you to be pulled into who these people are. Because I spend a lot of time in interviews figuring out who they are. I want to know them just like I'm meeting you for the first time. I would dig deep. I would dig so deep to figure out who they are. It may not end up in the book, but at least I know who they are and I can write from that perspective.
Yeah. I mean, I have been writing a book for over 10 years.
Why so long, girl?
Because I'm crazy. Like, you know how you pick something up and turn it loose and pick it up and turn it loose. And then I had to change stuff because I went through this experience and I went through that experience. And then sometimes you write about your friends' experiences. And I finally think I'm by next year actually put this book out and do it.
Yes.
Because I know that women will definitely relate. Black women definitely, women of color definitely, but all women, because it's going to involve a man, honey. A man.
Yes, you need to get it out. And that's the thing. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're going through. I know what that's like. That start and that stop, that start and that stop. It's hard work writing a book. People don't understand how hard it is, right? You got to push through, sis. You got to push through when you get to that point. Because I'm at that point now. It's like, okay, I don't know what else to do next. I'm working on a book now. And it's like, but I know I'm a veteran. I'm like, okay, you know this feeling. You know what to do. You know how to push through. And so I'm getting back into the flow of this. So people like you, I'm like, I know where you're at. I know what you're going through. It's like, I understand what you're doing. And I've been doing this for so long. I understand. You have no idea the language you're speaking is that I understand what you're talking about.
So have you ever had a situation where somebody did something to you and you be like, oh, I'm going to write a book about this joker?
Nope.
I'm going to write a book about this joker.
Nope.
No? Okay.
Nope. I don't want to give anybody credit for anything in my books. So I ain't writing about none of y'all. And people want to say, oh, did you write about me? No, I didn't write about you. My mother thinks I write everything about her. I was like, I ain't wrote about you, Ruby.
Mommy. Look, your mama named Ruby. You know she a pistol, her name Ruby. Girl, when they named after jewels, they be something else like Pearl and Opal and Ruby and stuff like that, girl. Them old school divas like that. Oh, hell.
You know, I ain't read nothing I wrote, but she thinks I write all about her. It's like, you
Mama, but just let her thank you, girl. Just let her be. Listen, I'm just so happy to have you here. So before we go to the artist of the week, because I know it's about to come up, I do have one question. So when you started writing, what was your main, before you finished the book, what was your, how do I say that? What was your sauce? Like, what was it? Were you like, I gotta get this done because XYZ?
My ex-husband, girl, he was doing whatever he was doing, right? And I had gone into spy mode, right? Checking pages back in the day. It was pages, wasn't cell phone. Checking pages, calling people, blah, blah, blah. And I said, what you been doing? Where you at? Why you home so late? And he said, you need to get you some business. And I had always wanted to write a book. We had this computer sitting over in the corner gathering dust. I said, he is absolutely right, because that is so not me. I am not that chick. I don't do that, right? Whatever he's doing in the dark will come to the light. So I was like, I'm going to focus on my book. I started writing the book. All of a sudden, I wasn't in his business anymore, and he was kind of mad because I wasn't paying attention. But I'm like, shut up, I'm writing. A couple years later, we were divorced. But that was this. I just wanted to do it for myself. I wanted to see if I could finish. And the first draft of that book was just 50 pages max. And I'm like, that's not a whole book. I can't, that's not a book. And God told me, well, make it a book. You're a writer. And so from that point on, the process of writing and rewriting and rewriting and rewriting and learning that craft, and that was 8 days. That was the first book. And that's what took over. And it was just, I was in an unhappy place in my life. And I wanted to do something grand. So.
And that was a self-published book, right? Or did you have a house behind you?
The first 2 times it was self-published. The first time it sold 117 copies. The second time it sold like 10,000. And then the house picked it up. And so the house picked it up. I think it sold like 50,000 or something like that. But people are still reading that book. I mean, I republished it.
Baby, listen, I'm going to tell y'all. And on the 8th day, she rested. If y'all have not read that book, you need to read it. I'm talking about men and women.
Yep.
Because I had men who read that book and say, damn.
I re-released the 20th anniversary edition. It's brand new, but it's the same story. It's just the anniversary edition. People still reading that book, and I'm like, wow. I didn't think anybody still be reading it. 20 years later, they still read it.
Girl, that book is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. That is like, you know, I just love authors. That's like, you never know what's in a person's head. Like because when I first saw you, I was like, that's who wrote the book. Because you look so sweet. And look at you, bubbly. That's like when I met Zane, she looked like a school teacher. I was looking at her, I was like, that's Zane. I was like, what? Girl, you know, I went up to ask her about them midgets and the sisters of Asia. I was like, baby, where you get the midgets from? You know, I'm gonna ask, right?
Yes.
And on the 8th day she rested.
Yes.
You gotta read it. I'm telling you, it's amazing. So I guess we're ready to go to the artist of the week.
Okay.
Troy.
Hello.
See, I'm on it tonight, bro. I'm on it.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
So, the blast artist for tonight, this is a young lady that she blew me away because the beginning of August, I went to Atlanta to the ISSA Awards. And if I'm correct, she won 2 awards. And this blast artist's name is Lala Music. And the name of this song is called Warrior. Check this out.
Welcome to the Council of Aquas. Today, you will be assessed on your skills, abilities, and strengths. It will not be easy, but if you succeed, then you will join us in the spiritual battle. Do you accept this challenge? Well, let's begin.
No, they don't want none. Got these scripts that will blaze on you like it's summer. Rolling on the enemy just like I'm a Hummer. Got my loins girded up with the truth, you know it. With my feet ready for those darts that be flowing. It's the word of the Most High that keep me going. So I can't stop, now I gotta keep sowing. I'm fighting against principalities. Those evil things that you just cannot see. I'm a warrior. I am a warrior. I'm a warrior. We'll be victorious. I'm a warrior. I am a warrior. I'm a warrior. We'll be victorious. I'm a warrior. 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 Victorious. I'm a warrior. 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 Victorious. I am built for battle and I do it daily. Ready to take blows with my righteous breastplate. Evil can't hold me back or stand in my way. Cause I have protection with my shield of faith. I am blocking all wickedness, oh yes indeed. Won't sell my soul, no, you can't buy me. Cause I know my strength from the Holy King. I'll endure till the end, that's the warrior in me. I'm fighting against principalities. Those evil things that you just cannot see. I'm a warrior. I am a warrior. I'm a warrior. We'll be victorious. I'm a warrior. I am a warrior. I'm a warrior. We'll be victorious. I'm a warrior. 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 Victorious. I'm a warrior.
and that is La La Music with Warrior. Man, she was phenomenal when she came out on the stage. She was just decked out. I can't even explain it. She was dope. But anyway,
Okay, I love it.
yes, indeed. So if you are an independent artist or even a spoken word poet or comedian that's looking for some exposure, you can go to blastmusic247.com and register for free. But most of all, Blast needs the fans. So if you're a fan that loves to hear great music, just like you heard tonight, go to blastmusic247.com and register for free. That's blastmusic247.com, changing the industry one artist at a time. All right, guys, back to you.
Thank you. I'm a warrior. Okay, I like it.
I did too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like gospel, neo soul, rapid poetry, all of that. Yeah. I like it. That was dope, right? And I like the imagery of it. I like the head wraps and the, it was dope. That was dope. Okay, sis.
I like the fight scenes.
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot to take in, and I was processing it. Cause I'll be processing stuff. Especially when I get to the bottom of my wine glass, girl. I was like,
I thought that was Kool-Aid.
No, man.
Because there was a lot in there, Carla.
Worry about what you're doing over there. So listen. That's why I tell you this thing might change at any moment. I might ask you anything, girl. Listen. So I'm being good. I'm really being good.
Why?
So now I'm gonna say, your sex scenes be good, girl. Sis, now.
Girl, I told you.
You done made me have to call up somebody a couple of times.
I hate writing.
When I be reading the books, I be like, oh, okay.
I hate writing sex scenes. But I look at it like this. If it turns me on, then I did a good job.
Oh, is that okay? So I was gonna ask you, so how do you go into that? Because I've never been able to, like, well, other than Zane, she got a wild mind. You'll never know.
Yeah.
And I know you know it, because when she looks so prim and proper. She just be sitting there looking like she just got out of Sunday service. But that time be writing some crazy stuff.
Ones though, right? The ones you don't expect, right?
I be like, listen, I am not grown enough to read this damn book. I remember the first time, them Alpha 5, the Alpha 5, fuck'ems. That's the book. I said, what in the world? Honey, that was a good book.
Yeah.
But baby, you be having some amazing love scenes though.
Thank you.
And I was like, yeah, I want to try that. I ain't like what Mike else said. I ain't never did that before.
Most of them I haven't either. Most of them I haven't either. So, okay, I'm just going to be real. Most of it I haven't either. These are fantasies.
Hell, girl, listen, you will never know it. Because you be writing that thing like you know what you're talking about. I said, oh, okay. So, why everybody be texting me and calling me while I be on my podcast?
They know you busy. Tell me get on the podcast.
They just had to like children and dogs. I always bother you when you do it, when you get on the phone. Huh?
Yeah.
So how many books did you say? 30?
About 34, 35, something like that.
And I love the dragon books, even though you said you only wrote 4. I like the whole concept of there's a person walking around that I don't know is a wild beast.
I like that it's Black people that are dragons. And the best thing about that story was that it was not Black men, it was Black women that started. I started with a Black woman, right?
Yes.
Because I had seen this article about this article talking about here's the best dragon romance books to read. And it was all these white, muscular chested men. The covers all look the same, right? I'm like, okay, where's the Black one? Wasn't one in the bunch. So
right. I ain't interested in that. And the hell, you're dealing with fire. Seem like you would be Black on the outside or something.
Somebody, right? But they weren't.
With a tan or something.
So I said, well, we need Black dragons. And then I was thinking about a story of Black dragons. I said, what if this dragon is a woman? black woman who turns into a dragon. And
Who didn't know she was a dragon? That was the dope part to me.
Yeah, and so it was using African folklore and just this modern day woman in Denver, Colorado, minding her business, didn't know she was turning into a dragon, but she was. And so because her love interest can't just be a regular dude, right? So he's got to be part God, and he's got to do his thing. And it's like that was just like the dopest story. I love that whole series. I haven't finished it, but I know the whole series, and I'm like I might finish it just because I like it. But yeah, it was just fun.
Yeah.
So
the very first book was amazing. She said, "Would you want one of your books adapted for Netflix?"
The ones I would like to adapt. Black King is very hard to adapt. Okay, I've had.
I agree.
Yeah, it's a hard one to adapt.
I agree.
8th Day could be adapted for Netflix. That wouldn't be hard, or the Gatewood series would not be hard to adapt to Netflix.
Yeah,
it would be a great one for the Netflix.
I think the Gatewood would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be great for the Netflix. That would be just drama, right?
Well, any of the streaming. So like All Black, I watch a lot of the good Black series that I watch on the All Black channel. Because, they have stuff that we watch on there, right? I mean, Netflix is getting better, but let's be real.
Yeah.
I mean, and nothing against Tyler Perry, but, Tyler Perry stuff is Tyler Perry stuff, right?
Right.
But I like to see different things. Like, I don't do horror, but one of my best friend from college, she's a Black horror filmmaker. She lives in California.
Ooh.
And she's been winning awards for it. And her name is Val. Shout out, Val Sarah. Y'all, she's on my page. Y'all see she talks to me all the time. But she wins all these awards. She makes movies. She makes short films. And she's been winning because she makes Black horror movies.
Yes.
Because Black people love horror movies, not me. But my sister and them, they love them. I don't like nothing scary. No, ma'am. No, thank you. I'm like my grandma. You get the devil in you watching that shit. Listen. That's what I know what your grandma used to say. Keep watching that shit. You get the devil in you. I'm like, oh, when you done cut, so I probably got it anyway. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And I'm scary because when I go to sleep at night, that's when my brain go into hyperdrive. And when I lay down,
I watch all my scary movies before 2:00. And then I watch something funny or something romantic or something like that. So that way it's out of my brain by bedtime. I can't watch it after that.
Now, I like suspense. Now, sometimes I even have to be careful with Dateline because, girl, I done went to bed and watched Dateline and drank something crazy. This last moon, speaking of which, did you feel creative doing this whole retro Pisces moon? Did you feel it?
I felt change. I felt evolution. Right? This is what I felt. And this is why, I don't know if it's because my birthday's coming or what, but you're going through these periods where you feel like, okay, it's time for me to evolve. And, you're comfortable, you're doing everything, you're good. Life ain't nothing wrong, but you just feel like, okay, now it's time to change. It's time to evolve. It's time to move into this next phase of my life. So I feel like this. I'm getting ready to turn 60. And I look at life like this. You got your first act, which is from birth, 29. Act 2 is from 30 to 59. And Act 3 is the final act. Right? And I'm like, well, I'm in my final act. It's got to be good, right? And so that's what I felt during this period. I felt like this sense of, it's time for me to change, evolve, and move spiritually, emotionally, move into this next phase of my life. That's what I felt very strongly.
That's what I felt leading up to 50. And then when 50, even before it even hit, I could feel myself shifting.
Yes.
Like the way I think, the way I react to stuff.
Yeah.
My inner, I can't, and like you said, you really can't explain it.
Yeah.
But when you start going from one level to another, you feel uncomfortable staying at a certain place, and you feel like you got to do this or do this.
Yes, because I feel like this, when you're comfortable, everybody wants to be comfortable, and we can get to a point where we're comfortable. But sometimes if you're comfortable for too long, you become complacent, right? And sometimes
you become stagnant.
stagnant, and you got to become uncomfortable again to go to the next level of who you're meant to be. That's the way I look at it. And so that's what I spend, when these milestones like birthdays or something comes up, I'm like you, I feel uncomfortable being in the same place. And something's like, okay, it's time to shift, time to make a change. So that's what I've been feeling in the last couple of months, especially this last month, August, where I felt it, when that moon hit, yeah.
But like, yeah, that saying said you got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yes.
If you're really going to achieve stuff. And I mean, you've written 30 pieces.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that is like, but then I sit and think about, I really, the other day, I don't know what prompted me. Oh, actually, I had a conversation with someone and I went in there and I started looking. And I have journals going all the way back to high school.
Girl, I got a stack of journals.
And I told my daughters, when I die, when y'all go through my journals, just get your weed and your cigarettes or whatever. You're going to get your wine, whiskey, get ready. Because your mama was a lady that lived her life.
Girl, I think journaling, if you don't have a counselor, at least journal. But when you're journaling, be honest with yourself. Don't be dry. Don't
it's hard.
Don't be writing no fluff. Don't be writing who you think you want to write. Be honest with yourself, right? Be true. And if it means being raw and just putting out all your ugliness on there, put it on there. That's what it's for. That's how it helps, right? So people are like, I don't like to journal. It's like, you probably aren't comfortable being with yourself, being alone with yourself.
Girl, when you see that pain on the page,
yep.
Like sometimes you forget about how you felt when you were going through something, and then you see it in a journal and you feel like, oh my God, like I can't believe I was at school, or I can't believe that I was so invested in that person or that thing or whatever, or you see yourself as like me as a young mother. I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Who did? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, y'all lucky y'all alive because
girl, some babies.
Shoot.
My children are miracle children. I tell them all the time.
Yep.
Especially my oldest daughter, because baby, I was still in the club 8 months pregnant in denial that a baby was coming forth. I'm like, what? And then, girl, I would just be sitting. We would just be sitting looking at each other. Like, I know she was looking at me. I look at her like, what the hell do we do with each other? Okay.
Yes.
But we made it.
Yes.
We made it.
Like you,
and that's what your books inspire people. Your books are funny.
Yeah. Coming from me, that's a compliment.
Sometimes you'll say something in your books, I'll be like, that damn Jackie. I be tickled. So how do your children feel about you being great advice? Do you feel that big time publishers pigeonhole Black authors to stay in a certain lane?
They do. Big publishers really, and I've had somebody from a big publisher tell me this. Sometimes they don't really know what to do with Black authors, right? So when they find something that works, that they see that sells with Black authors, they want everybody to write that same type of thing. In most cases, they really kind of want you have some leeway. Some they will give you some nuggets to do other things. But like when Street Lit was popular, when they made that popular, they were the ones. All of a sudden everybody to write. They wanted to Street Lit off. So now everything is, I think they're leaning a lot towards historical fiction, and everybody's doing well writing historical fiction. And so that's the thing now. So they do kind of like, once they find a trend, especially for Black books, they tend to want to stick with that trend. Whereas I think that unfairly so, they don't give us as much leeway to try new things as white authors get to do. White authors get to write a whole lot of new things, but Black authors, we're held to a tighter standard, I think.
Right.
Because we don't sell like white authors. Because Black people, Black readers, we read everybody. We don't care if you're Black, white, purple, whatever. Right? We read everybody, but white people aren't that way with Black authors. So I have people tell me they see Black people on the cover, they don't think they're supposed to read it. right? My books aren't written just for Black people. They're just written
Right, exactly.
for Black people that anybody can read, but they don't give us that grace. They don't support us like that. So we don't sell that number of books like they do. Now, most of us don't. Now Terry McMillan did or whatever, but even she didn't sell to the level that a lot of these white writers sell.
Exactly.
So yeah, they pigeonhole us. We kind of like in a niche. They kind of keep us there. So even though we see more people coming out, more Black people coming out with mystery and suspense and all that stuff and horror, you still see them. We struggle more so with that because Black readers don't necessarily support Black horror books or Black fantasy books about the dragons or whatever. Black readers don't necessarily read that. So it's kind of like finding that audience is hard, and white readers won't read it because Black people wrote it most of the time. So it's hard for us to branch out and do different things, and that's sad because we got so many different stories to tell. You know?
Yeah, because once again, we are the creatives.
Yes.
Since Africa, since we got here from outer space.
Yeah.
People don't want to hear me when I say that. I'd be like, yo, when we got here from outer space, they'd be like, what you talking about? I'd be like, hang with me. Listen, we are so supernatural. Like, people don't really understand that we are, like, not of this world.
Yeah. Just
because, hell, I'm melanin alone. Like, come on.
Yep.
So, speaking of sci-fi and horror, she was saying, like, do you know Tana Reeve Dude personally? Have you ever met her?
Yeah, I met her. She's
one of my favorites too. And see, I love a good sci-fi. Like, I remember Octavia Butler, Kendrick, but I read Wild Seed. That's my favorite.
Yeah, yeah.
Where the people were shape-shifting into the animals and things. I was like, come on! When I read that, I'm like, what? I was turned out. You hear me?
Yeah.
And I was a kid who read books. Like, my mom would put me on punishment because I used to be rambunctious. I know y'all can't believe that, but I used to do stuff. And my mama would make me go in my room and take the TV and stuff. But where she went wrong was she let me always read.
Oh.
But it was not wrong. I think it helped me, of course. Yeah. But Henry she does not get her credit.
No, she does not.
Because her books, now that's a book you can't read past a certain time of night, because you be sitting in there thinking about, like,
yep.
Is something gonna jump out these shadows in this house? And she love to trick your house out in them books. I'll be like, first of all, but it be so good. Now I can read horror, but I can't watch it.
That's so
because
weird.
I love Stephen King and I love Dean Koontz.
That is so weird.
I know, because my mind is crazy. I'm just telling you. The first time I ever read It, I stayed up for almost 24 hours, girl, because every time I close my eyes, I see that damn clown.
I think the books would be scarier than the movies.
Sometimes, but I love It. I love Dean Koontz. I love his old stuff.
Yeah.
James Patterson, I love him. James
Me
Patterson.
too, girl. Oh my God.
Girl. And when Anne Rice did Interview with the Vampire Baby, I was hooked.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. I love a good story. Mm-hmm. Not just, because some people write books and I'm like, this was garbage.
Yeah.
But I have so many books that are good, and I like James Patterson because his chapters are quick.
Yeah.
So when he started doing the Alex Krauss books, baby, I was for it.
Girl,
you understand me? Because you can read those books in like no time.
Yes.
I have another friend. His name is Dr. Jelani Favors, who I went to high school with. He writes nonfiction, and he wrote a book about, oh my God, y'all, he's been on the Today Show and everything. What I do with this book? Oh, the beach chain, because I'm on here talking about it. But he was talking about the civil rights movement in the Black colleges and how it just all went hand in hand, and how they literally changed the way we live today as Black people.
Wow.
And it's so amazing. And I'm going to have him on here too. I already told him, I'm saying, you're going to have to get on here and we're going to talk about it. But I just love you for sharing yourself with us, your mind with us, your imagination with us. I'm going to encourage you to just keep going in whatever it is you do. Maybe Like you said, you're trying to get back into it, but maybe scripts is your thing. Maybe mentoring is your thing now. Maybe because once again, we're evolving. And sometimes, like Erica Badu says, what if there were no, only master teachers?
Yeah.
And at this point, with you writing 30 books, you're a master teacher, sis.
Yeah, I would love that.
So what's in your head is more than most people have, on the tip of a pen. Because like when you do something, when they say you do something 7 times, you're a master of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said 30, right?
Yep.
You are a master of your craft. And that's something, when you get discouraged, remember that. You are a master of your craft. You're not just some lady out here who's writing books. You're a master of writing.
You're going to make me cry. Stop.
So, well, it's the truth. And it's nothing but, I always say everything is divine timing. Because I literally was sitting and I was like, who do I want on my show really, really bad? And I said, I'm going to ask her. And I literally just, you see, I reached out. I was like, hey. And you said, yeah. I was like, ah. I literally ran around the living room. But it was just so exciting having you on here. And I just thank you for coming on here and talking. See, we didn't cut up too bad. We only talked about a little bit of sex. We ain't talking about girl.
We had an hour, girl. Because we get together. I just have a feeling I'm just ready. I gotta have to get ready. Because I get the whole Carla Simpson experience. I think I gotta get ready. And so I will.
Girl, because listen, I was like, listen. I told people, I said, baby, I thought them coochie popping 40s was something. Damn. It's 50s. What's that? I said, I need to be on a bumper sticker, the coochie popping 40s. But speaking of which, don't forget, y'all, I got merchandise. I got coffee cups, I got wine mugs, and I got t-shirts. Okay. Where can I find the novels?
Go on Amazon. Not all of them are in print because I got my rights back from my publisher, so some of them are out of print. I'm going to eventually put them back in print, but the ones that are in print are on Amazon.
And on the 8th day she rested. So the King series with Kenya was on the What Day I Saw Black King. What's the other book?
Don't Want No Sugar. Gotta Sin to Get Saved, and Somebody Pick Up My Pieces.
Yes, baby. That Gotta Sin to Get Saved was off the hook too.
Yeah.
Listen, y'all. Read them. That's what I'm gonna tell y'all. Read. And on the 8th day she rested. I'm gonna give them to you in order. One Day I Saw Black King.
Don't Want No Sugar.
Don't Want No Sugar.
You Gotta Sin to Get Saved.
You Gotta Sin to Get Saved. You know what I'm saying? And what's the last one?
Somebody pick up my pieces.
Somebody pick up my piece. You know what? Now that book made me cry.
Oh.
So let me tell you. Thank you, JD. Thank you for being humble enough to come on my show. Thank you for sharing yourself with us before you step onto this platform of being so sensual and 60.
Thank you.
Girl, they better get ready. They better get ready.
Yeah.
And I see Doggy Love back there walking back and forth. I heard him back there squeaking on the thing. And I was like, hey, Doggy Love.
I had kicked them out. They snuck in here again. So.
Oh, I love it. It's okay. Because sometimes Pinky be in here tearing up the world. And it's all right. It is what it is. That's my life.
Yeah.
So we thank you. I wish you the best of success. We'll see each other in these Facebook streets. We know how to. Girl, don't be surprised. I come to Nola and be like, hey, girl, I'm down here. I'm coming.
That's all you gotta say. That's all you gotta say. I'll take you somewhere good to eat, girl. We good.
Oh, girl, that's what I likes to eat.
Girl, me too.
Girl, look, I took my Spanx out today. I said these people just gonna see what the hell they see today. So I love you. Thank you so much for coming on. I wish you peace and light. I'm sending you just nothing but good vibrations. And just keep being JD. That's all you can do, right? Thank you. And until next time, y'all, next week,